I'm also a completionist, and it makes it really difficult to just stop in the middle of a game.
See,
I'm not as much. I'll do what I feel is fun, and I'll try to collect a lot of things if I can, but usually I'm just too lazy. I can't be bothered.
I mean, for me, sword and hammer aside, I've actually gone kind of the opposite direction. Like, if I'm not having fun, like an hour into a game, if I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is boring. Why am I wasting my time? I'll just stop playing it and then trade it on Guzex and get something else instead. I've in my old age, I have much less patience for games than I used to, and if a game doesn't grab me pretty much right away, I won't bother playing it that much longer. And on the other hand, if I get a lot of the way through the game and I am having fun, but I get to the point where it's too hard, then I will watch the rest of it on YouTube.
I have done that, yeah.
So I'm not really completionist at all.
I have a friend who kept getting to the last stage or the last boss of a video game and then just stopping and never going back to it. So it was my personal project for a little while there to just sit down and say, okay, we're finishing Metroid Prime tonight.
I don't know, it's hard to motivate me to do stuff like that because, like, once I recognize that I'm actively not having fun or not interested in a game, I realize that there are other things that I could be doing that I would be interested in, that I would enjoy doing, or productive things that I could be doing, and I have zero motivation to keep playing that game.
I did that with Assassin's Creed. I got all the way through it to the very end, and at the very end, they decided before this last, like, probably one of the last boss battles, they have a horde of like 100 or so people just come right after you and try to kill you, and they succeed. They succeed pretty often. In fact, every time I played. And after dying like 30 times, I was like, I don't ever want to play this again. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume this is the ending. He dies.
What's been getting me caught up, at least on the games that I've been playing for the past year or two, is that anytime I start to really get into a game and enjoy it, or even if I'm not enjoying it but it's going quickly enough, then there are side quests. Then there's optional material that I want to at least try out, but again, being the completionist that I am, I feel like if it is within my grasp, I might as well at least do it, especially when it's a game that I know I'm never going to come back and play again, because I don't like it that much, or I like it well enough but not enough to play it instead of anything else that I own. Wario Land 4 is a perfect example of this, where I beat the game, and it was okay. It was better than 2, which is the other one that I had played. I enjoyed it more. But then there's, oh, you just unlocked hard mode, which is exactly the same as normal mode, but slightly different. I said, well, if I'm ever going to mark this off of my backloggery, where I've recorded every game that I own and my progress through it, I'm going to need to do this now, because I will never pick this up again, and I'm never going to remember where all of the secrets are and what to do, so I might as well. And I sat down, and I worked toward it for a while, and then eventually I did give up, and it felt really, really bad.
Yeah, I don't have that problem at all.
Lucky man.
I almost never do any side quest in any video game. Unless I know for a fact that it's really going to entertain me, or that there's something really, really good at the end of it. I don't care. With one of the few exceptions being in the both of the Death Spank games, I did almost every quest in those that I could, and I have no idea why. I don't know what compelled me to do that.
Well, here's another question. What side quests have we done recently that have been completely worth the time, or that have been such a horrible, miserable waste of time that we want to invent a time machine just so we can undo it? I, for one, have been playing Mega Man ZX for the DS, and I was really enjoying the game at first. I thought it took the Mega Man Zero series, all of the best stuff from it, and improved on it, and made meaningful contributions to the continuity of the greater Mega Man universe, and I thought it was great, and I had fun. And then they started offering me side quests, and I started going on them, and the rewards were pretty pathetic, and most of these side quests required me to replay areas that were really fun and challenging the first time around, and just go back through them to find a tiny little item that was hidden in one of the 17 crates that are everywhere and take forever to destroy, and do this over and over and over again with no indication of whether it's just, here's a time waster to get you some extra credits, or here's a time waster that will eventually pay off in some way. And it's been decreasing my opinion of the game.
Ugh.
And I know I don't need to take them, but I can play these side quests and have actually been making progress with them, and they seem different enough most of the time that I feel like I should, like I'm going to miss something, but I don't know. And the worst part of it is I'm now at the end of the game, and I kind of want it to last a little bit longer because I was enjoying it so much. Now I'm like, I don't want to beat it yet. I was having fun. I want to play it a little longer. Maybe I'll do another side quest just to stretch this out any longer, and I'm kicking myself in the head for saying that.
I went back and collected all the big coins in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Like, all of them. That was pretty hardcore. And I think what compelled me to do that was I was playing through it with my fiancée, and we just were having an extremely fun time playing the game together. So once we got to the end and we realized there was a whole lot more for us to do, we just wanted to keep playing it. So it really almost had nothing to do with actually collecting the coins. Like, the coins were just an excuse for us to go back and play all the levels again.
I'm too lazy to even 3-star the levels on Angry Birds. Oh, actually, you know what? I thought of something that relates to that last topic about games you keep playing even though you don't know why. I wrote a review about Kingdom for Keflings. An alright game. Meh. Just kind of middle of the road, not much to it.
What was the name of that again?
Keflings. There's a kingdom for them.
Thank you. I feel so enlightened.
You make it, and you build, like, houses, and you build, like, it's kind of like Minecraft, but lamer.
Did you play as your Xbox avatar?
You do, and that's really the selling point. But I actually bought the sequel. I bought World for Keflings last week because it was on sale, because I'm an idiot. My wife is disgusted with me now because she didn't know that. Yes.
Yeah, actually, on that train of thought, not so much now, but I have been known in the past to go back in Xbox 360 games to collect achievements, even if it's a game I've already beaten in the game. I don't really feel like playing. I'm the one of the few things that will motivate me to go back and do side quests and do extra stuff. I love me some Chivos.
Yeah, they do sucker me into to playing the games again. I was one of the many people that thought it was stupid at first, and no one's going to care. And
I thought it was amazing as soon as I heard of it. That was like one of the top reasons I wanted an Xbox. I have no idea why. I had no experience with them at that point, and I still don't know what is so interesting about them. But I just hit 15,000, by the way. It's really cool.
Woo. I have barely any games with... go ahead, Christian.
Okay, I 1,000-pointed Civilization Revolution last
You did?
year.
Wow.
I thought for sure I never ever would, and I did, and I was like, I am so proud of myself. I am a god of a man.
Drove me nuts because you couldn't earn the achievements playing online, and like half the fun of that game is playing it online.
Yeah.
That drove me nuts. I actually I don't think I've gotten 1,000 points in anything yet. I could be wrong. I've gotten 200 points in some of the arcade games, like Monkey Island.
I think there's like 4 games where I've gotten all the achievements, and that was 1 versus 100 is one of them.
Yeah, I have like Monkey Island and Death Spank.
See, I keep finding myself going back whenever I'm recording something or have any reason to be waiting for something to happen for more than 15 or 20 minutes. I find myself periodically going back to Mega Man 10, which is one of the very, very few games that I own that has achievements because I'm an all-Nintendo and PC guy. And I just keep wondering why I'm trying to beat Blade Man on hard mode using just the blaster and not take any damage and do all of these absurd challenges that aren't actually fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're just there, and also trying to replay the endless attack mode to convince myself that maybe I do like this game a lot after all. Maybe this is not and it just never works.
It's kind of an annoying problem with achievements in general when developers make one that is not fun to do.
Yeah.
Why are you telling me to do something that is actively not fun?
There's one in what's it called? Too Human for dying like 100 times. What if I'm really good? What if I don't want to die 100 times?
Well,
shouldn't I get an achievement for being awesome?
And You Don't Know Jack for getting negative $1 million on a Jack attack.
Yeah, and there's also one for playing. I think it's like 5 games alone on a Friday or Saturday night.
That's actually funny. I like that.
Yeah.
There's also like one for playing on 4th of July. For
Yeah, yeah.
Name
It
is like
says
something like Unpatriot or something like that.
yeah, and the description of it says sit around at home playing video games instead of celebrating America.
Yes.
Although one of the most delightfully absurd achievements I've ever seen still remains the little rocket man from Half-Life 2, Episode 1, I believe. Launch the garden gnome that's in like the first level into space in the penultimate level. And you just carry him with your gravity gun through the entire game. And
Oh,
don't
God.
let go of him. And
That's
he
kinda
gets
cool.
knocked around like crazy, and the enemies attack him. And it's absurd. I read someone's blog. They had journal entries on their adventures with this stupid garden gnome trying to get him through the game and launch him into space. It was great. Jetty, do you play any games with achievements? Jetty?
Wow, our host has abandoned us.
He fell asleep.
I think he actually did.
Well, that's the true sign of a victorious podcast. This is going to be great.
No, maybe he's going for an achievement of ignore the fellow podcasters for 5 minutes straight and don't talk to them, and then you unlock an achievement.
50 points. Achievement unlocked.
You can come back now.
I feel bad now. We're going to commit a homicide. Like, whoever the person is that listens to us while they drive, they're going to fall asleep at the wheel.
Maybe we should change topics. Something a little more lively then.
Okay.
Here's my topic. Earlier today, I spent some time browsing Yahoo Answers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, I am too.
That is a hotbed of idiocy.
And I found a question on there that I thought was kind of interesting. This is
I kissed a boy. Do I have AIDS?
this is from Yahoo Answers user John Parks, and this is in the video game section. John Parks would like to know, why do many people get an attitude if you cheat online during gameplay? Many people wrote bad comments on my message just because I cheated, and why? Thought that was kind of funny. How do you guys feel about cheating in video games, and online or otherwise?
I feel that a lot of people get really angry. I completely understand if people get angry when you play online. I know I just got Team Fortress for the PS3, and there's tons of people that just hack their game. They put themselves in God mode, and it's worthless. It's completely worthless to play. But as far as cheating in a single-player game offline, I don't know why people get so mad about that. Who cares what you do?
Do people get mad about that?
I've seen people get all upset and angry and like, you're disrespecting the game or something, like it's some kind of living entity.
Do a lot of games like even like have built-in cheat codes still? I
A
feel
lot
like
of
that
PC
isn't
games do.
nearly as big a thing as it used to be in the 16-bit era, but I could be wrong.
It's not the golden age of cheats anymore, like the N64 with like big head mode in every game, but there's
No,
still some.
I definitely used to cheat a lot in the NES Super Nintendo era, partially because I was little and was even worse at games than I am today, and partially because it was a lot easier because you had things like Game Genie and Game Shark. Maybe those things still exist right now, but if they do, I don't see them around. They're not as well known as I don't know, something.
Well distributed.
Well distributed, as all over the place. Pervasive, perhaps.
I know there's one for the Wii, but I think that's only if like your Wii is hacked and you're playing these like pirate games. I think you can run this thing called Ocarina through it, which is like a Game Genie.
I miss Game Genie. There's this really wonderful code in Secret of Mana for you don't take any damage, but you also don't deal any damage.